Hi, I'm Tenby.
And I'm Jonathan.
And today on How to Learn,
We're talking about psychological barriers and how to overcome them. Probably more the barriers than the how to overcome them, but we'll get to that later. I'm just going to go through a list. It's like a checklist of things that many of us suffer from at certain points. So the basic thought here is, how do you learn? You learn by putting yourself forward for stuff.
Absolutely.
Volunteering, just showing up, suggesting yourself, putting your name down, just trying new stuff, getting opportunities all being put forward for them by somebody else and saying yes.
Yes.
But there are reasons we don't. So I'm just going to throw a whole list of these at you.
Should I just do a ting, ting?
Yeah. Do the checklist noise and comment if you feel like it. But I suspect I'm scoring 10 out of 10 here. Number 1, impostor syndrome.
Oh, absolutely. Ting, ting, ting.
Okay. Any particular times more than others? Or?
I think most recently last week when I was on a panel, I was like, oh my gosh, have you seen all the panellists? And I'm sat next to them. And
it was a high-powered panel.
It was a very high-powered panel. And I was like, I'm literally shrinking mentally. However, it's recognising that. And it's also saying, I've been invited to the table.
Yeah, you're there for a reason.
I'm there for a reason.
Yeah. Brilliant. But we all have it, don't we?
We all have it. I had that completely.
Actually, not all. I have heard somebody say, I don't suffer from imposter syndrome. And I thought, no, you're right, you don't. And it wasn't necessarily an attractive trait either. Imposter, okay. Secondly, comparing my inside with your outside. So, in other words, we often think we know how we're feeling inside. And, we could be in turmoil, churned up, nervous, and all the rest of it. And we look at other people's outside demeanour, and they appear calm and relaxed and confident, and they know what they're doing. And so we always make the mistake of comparing our insides with their outsides, not to our own advantage, obviously, because they just look happier and more confident.
Ting, ting. I say that because there's times when I'm actually completely a nervous wreck on the inside, and on the outside, you've commented, oh, you're calm. I was like,
you don't show
I
that.
was absolutely a nervous wreck. But I do get that because if you're sat around a table or you're meeting people that have that outward confidence and you're feeling not as confident, that can come across as intimidating. But you don't actually know that person could be feeling very less confident, just be like, I'm here anyway, let's just showtime.
Yeah. Brilliant. Ting. Overestimating how much people are scrutinising you. So there are studies here about how people spend a lot of their time thinking that they're being scrutinised, but actually most people are thinking about themselves and how they're being scrutinised.
Yeah.
So it doesn't need much more explanation, that one.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. I think one thing, like when you're at the gym, you think everybody's looking at you. No, everybody's looking at themselves and you're like, nobody's watching your workout.
Yeah, right. I say, I don't go to the gym. Long walks. Fear of failure.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah, again, doesn't need much elaboration. Everybody's got it, I think. Perfectionism.
Ting, ting. Oh, these are just so like perfectionism. What is that? What even is it? Why do we put that on ourselves?
Why? Yeah.
It doesn't even exist, actually.
Yeah. Who's defining? And nobody's watching you to see if you're perfect either. Lack of confidence in general.
Oh, ting, ting.
Absolutely. Reluctance to self-promote.
Ting.
What's your no noise, incidentally?
We
may not hear it. But So reluctance to self-promote. This can be a real barrier to putting yourself forward for stuff from which you would learn.
Do you think it's like, I'll be very generalist here, like generalise this statement, but like, is it something about being British, we've got sort of a demeanour to like hold back, whereas if you're an American, you are literally like, I am the best at everything sort of attitude, and they would just overtly just throw themselves out there. Do you think it might be a cultural?
There's definitely a cultural trait, isn't there? And not to say you can't have introverted Americans or extrovert Brits, but yes, do leave a comment if you'd like.
It's a very sweeping statement.
No, but it's true. It is cultural, and I think cultural for civil servants potentially, or public servants, and women.
There's protected characteristics that also do play a part in this as well. So it's not just one thing that contributes to that whole what is it, top 10 list of things.
We're almost at the end, but lack of role models.
Lack of role models. lack of ways in which you can overcome it. So, for example, I do action plans or just do like a mind map and just put everything down on a piece of paper about what it is I want to do, what skill set I want to deliver, and then you just do your top 3 and you create an action plan around that. And that could be either going for a mentor, or it just makes you very clear about what it is, what gaps you want to, skills gap that you want to develop.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the truth here, I think. And we've got to the end of the list, apart from cultural norms and deflection I had as well. People who say, oh, it's all office politics, I'm not getting involved, or I'm not putting myself forward for that. It's just, kind of promotion and I'm not playing that game. Again, these could be sort of ways of thinking that hold you back. So all of that, So action plan. I think it's important to understand almost all of these, or indeed all of these, are fake.
Absolutely fake.
They're in your head. It's not a real barrier, but it is a real barrier because it's in your head. And it's in everybody's head. That's the other thing. They're all fake and they're all universal.
Exactly.
And I was ting all the way down the list as well, and many people will be. But what you're saying is just make an action plan.
Just make an action plan, because whoever you're looking at thinking, wow, how did they get to that space? Trust me, they were probably sitting in the space that you're at thinking, how do I get to that space for the other person? So it's learning, it's continuous learning.
Continuous learning. There we go. If that list resonated with you, then it resonated with the rest of the world, I think, right up to the most senior levels. So
absolutely,
that was a bit longer than usual, but it was a long list because we set up a lot of barriers for ourselves. So thanks for listening.
Thank you.